Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Dom Slays. My friends, welcome on in. Happy Monday. Another week is upon us. And actually, new month. Today is November 3rd, 2025. Our last our last October episode was last week, obviously. But new month, new everything, so let's get into it, my friends. Hope you're well. And tonight's actually kind of special as well because tonight is episode 250, which is pretty fucking crazy. Um, so yeah, we're gonna talk about that for a second, and then we're gonna go over some weekly recap stuff. We're gonna talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Um, Lots of good stuff, and our submissions are actually pretty crazy tonight, so I'm excited. But we got Jay Fur in the chat. Let's get it, baby. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. I hope you're well. Happy Monday. We got Ghost in the chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are chilling. Congrats on 250. Yeah, literally 250 is crazy. Crazy. Wait. Thank you for following. Welcome to the streaming family, Jay. I have VIP. Indeed, you do. All the current Music Mondays Patreons get VIP. So I just had to update the list. It's been like a little while, you know? Added a couple new VIPs. But literally since today. Yep, since today. Finally getting hit with Twitch. Yeah, no, Twitch is always solid, man. Twitch is the home of a lot of good stuff for sure, which is definitely solid. I agree. Um, so let's go over some weekly recap, Jazz. Let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. We'll talk recruiting. We'll talk SoundCloud stuff, and then we'll talk about 250 episodes, and then we'll get into submissions. So, per usual, weekly recap, Jazz. Big W indeed. Definitely a big W. Um, so what happened at Music Mondays over the last week or so? Actually, we had a pretty crazy last week now that I think about it, because I was doing the weekly recap earlier and I was like, holy shit, we were pretty stacked up last week. So, let's talk about it. So, per usual, Music Money's basic logo t-shirts are available and in stock right now. We do have smalls, mediums, and larges still available. $20 including shipping, United States only, just so you guys don't get completely roasted by shipping costs and whatnot. So, unless you're okay with that, but we don't, we definitely don't condone that. Um, so per usual, heading into Tuesday, the full high quality episode of the last night's previous show is available on the Music Mondays Patreon for you to download, clip, record, enjoy, anything like that. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. And then, of course, submissions open every single Tuesday for the next week's Music Mondays podcast. So again, if you're watching this live, submissions open for episode 251 tomorrow. If you're watching this anywhere else, submissions are definitely already open. So make sure you go drop your links. We got Sam's Raps in the chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Let's get it, baby. Friendly the doll. Let's go. So that's Tuesday. Heading into Wednesday, per usual, SoundCloud Sunday submissions do open every single Wednesday. So again, make sure you follow us on social media, stay up to date with all of our submissions and all that good jazz. Then, of course, we usually end off Wednesday with some audio podcast promo for the next drop that always comes on Thursdays. So pretty stacked Wednesday. Heading into Thursday, we actually dropped a brand new YouTube upload where I kind of broke down upcoming events on Music Mondays the next couple of months, right? Because we only have like 2 months left of the year. So I kind of want to map out what our content roadmap is going to look like. So if you want to go check that out, that is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. And we do upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. So that was Thursday, and then of course episode 249 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on all audio platforms right now. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that good jazz. So definitely go check that out and go show out some love. And huge shout out to everybody that submitted to episode 249 as well. You guys are awesome. So that packed off Thursday. Heading into Friday, brand new SoundCloud exclusive track, actually on YouTube as well, is Live by the Homie Flux. That is a fucking banger, and it dropped on Halloween, so I found that pretty fitting. So definitely go check that out, and huge shout out to the Homie Flux, man. Let's see. And then continuing on with Friday, we actually dropped 2 articles last week, which is pretty fucking crazy. Last week we dropped a interview with the homie Cashlin by Con Binny, so definitely go check that out and go show that some love. And then the homie M actually came through with an Angelus article over the weekend. So 2 bangers out right now. Definitely go check those. Check everything out. And huge shout out to the Music Money staff writing team, man. Everybody's been killing it recently, so I'm excited. Lots of good pieces this year. Lots of really good pieces, man. That was Saturday. Me and Laverius are officially going to be working on a Halloween EP for next year. Now that's a good idea. I know nobody in my team really planned for it, but it just kind of worked out that way. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Halloween projects, absolutely, for sure. Heading into Saturday, episode 249 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So if you don't like going to watch over on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anything like that, that does drop every single Saturday on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So definitely go check that out and go shout some love as well. And of course, every artist featured in every single show is linked in the description. Make sure you go show them some love as well. Okay, so that was Saturday. Heading into Sunday, SoundCloud Sunday Volume 211 is available right now on the Music Monday SoundCloud. That was curated by me, and the cover art was done by me as well. Huge shout out to everybody that's still submitting to SoundCloud Sunday and getting those consistent submissions in, man. So, SoundCloud Sunday is fucking legendary. So, again, a huge shout out to everybody that submitted and supported Volume 211. So, that takes us all the way up until today, Monday, actually. So, that pretty much is your weekly recap and everything that you missed over the course of the last week or so here at Music Mondays. I went to work on a Halloween song, but FL crashed and I lost a beat. That's tragic. So I gave up. Yeah, I don't blame you. I hate when that happens. That is fucking tragic. When you're editing anything, but with a beat, it's especially tragic, man. I feel you. That shit is so annoying. Let's see. Where were we? That pretty much takes over the weekly recap, Jess. That's pretty much everything you missed over the last week or so. Let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week. Per usual, we are in the middle of planning our next album, Curing Cases of the Mondays Collection 3. So we'll be opening submissions up for that once we get some aesthetics and graphics down and a few dates as well. So that's pretty much what we'll be planning. And then heading into December, we have the Music Mondays Awards, which will be very important as well. Then, outside of that, we're going to do another social media refresh where we kind of refresh our graphics and things like that. I try to do that on like a yearly basis. So heading into 2026, I definitely want to get a few things refreshed up as well. So those are the like 3 major things that are coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. But a lot of your monthly content and a lot of your weekly content will be staying the same, right? Articles every week, YouTube uploads, all the podcast stuff, missions, all of our playlists will be staying the same. And then again, in addition, we're going to be updating a lot of our segments that haven't been updated in a while, right? Like the monthly, Underground Classics, the breakdown, things like that. So keep your eyes peeled for new additions over there as well. But yeah, a lot of the stuff will be staying the same per usual. But heading into the last 2 months of the year, it's definitely important that we kind of get these last 2 events off and then make sure that we lock in for 2026, you know? So that's that. Let's see. So that's pretty much everything major coming over the course of the next couple weeks. Album stuff will be finalized for sure. And then we're going to have to deal with a few more things when it comes down to ending out the year, but it'll be good. I'm excited for sure. End of the year is always fun, man. But, let's see. So we did weekly recap stuff. We did what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Let's talk recruiting. So per usual, Music Mondays is recruiting. We are on the hunt for all of our Music Mondays staff roles. You're a writer, journalist, curator, designer, you want to do short form content, you want to do long form content, you want to do anything for social media, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'd be happy to have that conversation with you. And of course, if you're more interested in just kind of learning and you really don't know much about underground independent media, we can always help you out and really show you the ropes and get your feet wet, right? So again, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. Tell your friends they might be interested as well. And per usual, we do have a 2025 Music Mondays role guide where I kind of break down all the Music Mondays staff roles in greater detail when it comes down to, you know, your content, your schedule, what Music Mondays is like in the background and things like that. So definitely go check that out if you're interested. So that's recruiting, Jazz. SoundCloud exclusives. Yes, let's talk SoundCloud exclusives. So per usual, Music Mondays is on the hunt for more SoundCloud exclusives. We actually just dropped one this last Friday, so definitely go check that out. But per usual, if you have a unreleased SoundCloud track that you'd like to have hosted and promoted on the Music Money SoundCloud for completely free, and of course promoted across all of our social media, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'd be happy to get that up for you. Again, we're only interested in unreleased material, so feel free to do whatever you want with the track afterwards. You want to go put it on all the stores and things like that. You want to go do a music video, that's completely fine. We're only interested in the SoundCloud version. So, same goes for YouTube as well. If you have some audio, if you have a music video, if you have a lyric video, you have an AMV or anything you'd like to have hosted and promoted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel of over 300 subscribers, and of course for completely free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'd love to get some stuff hosted for you on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So that's exclusive stuff. That's recruiting. I think one last thing we got to talk about before we move forward with our reactions for the night is 250 episodes, man. 250 fucking episodes is pretty crazy. And it's also coincidentally the end of season 10 as well, so we'll be starting season 11 next episode as well. So holy shit, man. I just want to take a sec to kind of reflect on that, right? Because I'm not a big, like, pat yourself on the back kind of guy, because there's plenty of work to be done, and we're not even like 10% of where like I want to be, right? But I do want to take a sec to recognize that accolade for sure. So I think I've been doing the Music Mondays podcast for, I think 2021 was our first episode, so we're going on like 4 years now, right? And the thing is, right, is like I never intended the podcast to kind of be what it is today, right? It slowly grew into that because in 2021 I was a freelance journalist for the first time in my career, right? I had left the company that I was with, which was an all independent company anyway, and that was the first time where I didn't know really what I wanted to do with my career, right? So I was like, holy shit, like like sometimes you don't know what to do, but I kind of went with what I knew best, right? And which was underground promotion, right? I worked for many collectives. I worked for some bigger underground platforms in the day. But it really was like taking all that I learned over the last like 4 years in 2021 at the time and putting it into Music Mondays, right? So initially when I started the show, point is it started off as like more of like a podcast, right? It wasn't like half podcast, half reaction stream. It was mostly all podcast, right? Where I was just yapping about the state of the underground politics, random events at the time. I mean, COVID was going on, right? So it felt like the right thing to do at the time. It was before the podcast wave really hit, right? And yeah, at first it was pretty crazy because I don't think initially I decided to start taking submissions or anything like that up until I'd, came up with the idea for Music Mondays, right? Because I wanted to keep it like an all underground platform and an all underground centered podcast, but Music Mondays wasn't a brand at the time. It wasn't a thing. So I did the podcast first and then I made the brand. And that's how that went, right? So it really was a brand like built around a podcast at first. And then we started doing things like playlists and things like that. But it's a pretty crazy journey, and some would say risky too, because like we're not like other podcasts where like it's like monetization based. It's like we're giving like fake reactions. I'm not like looking at my phone 24/7. Like I went with the real approach, right? Of course, with me being a producer in the underground, right? I knew how things worked in the background. Whereas to some of the more established streams at the time were just like kind of fake reactions from people that didn't really know music, right? So I really wanted to like paint that picture and like become that space that I think a few people needed, to give like actual constructive criticism and not just like, this is fire, next submission, like we take like 10 minutes for everybody's fucking track, like every single week, So I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't really believe in it and I really didn't enjoy doing it. So that's the thing, right? But in turn, because we went that direction, I'm not really being like a monetization first platform. We really kind of built a community of loyal people, right? Like there's still people that submit to the show that have been submitting for like 3 years straight. you know, because they know I'm always going to give them support. I'm always going to credit them. You know what I mean? So they feel like it's at home, right? And like the amount of people that have reached out and said that Music Mondays feels like a home is also not only like the goal, but it's also like a, you know, wake up call sometimes, you know, and it's important that we do what we do the way that we do it, right? So I think a big thank you is in order to the Music Mondays community over the last like 4 or 5 years, to anybody that's ever submitted to the show, even if you don't even make music anymore. You guys are amazing, and you guys are why the show is where it's at today. Truly, that's why we have so much support over there on Patreon. That's why, you know, the streams get so much love, the VODs get so much love. You know, so if it wasn't for the community, we wouldn't be shit. So big shout out to you guys, and thank you very much for supporting my goal, but also kind of like understanding that we want to better the underground, right? For, you know, artists of all types, right? Bigger artists, smaller artists, newer artists, established artists, you know? So it was important, and it was quite the journey too, because I won't lie, like that like 2021, 2022 era was pretty fucking crazy, bro. Like there is a point where we were only reaching like that mainstream hip hop kind of, you know, community. Like the underground like wasn't the underground at the moment for like a few years there because of COVID. You know, like COVID really swamped shit. So, you know, there were some dark years where, you know, we wouldn't even get submissions, or the submissions that we did get were just like they weren't underground, you know, like they were like just somebody paying for studio time, and it just wasn't like there was no personality behind it, right? So it was dark there for a while, but once like the end of 2022 into 2023 hit, that's when, you know, we tapped into like the real underground again, you know, and it felt like the real underground. So that was awesome to see for sure. But, you know, it just kind of proves that sometimes you got to stick shit through, bro. I mean, sometimes you really just got to keep doing it. Like, I think over the course of 250 episodes and 250 Mondays, I think I've only missed less than like 5 Mondays. And I know for a fact one of them was because the weather was like fucked up and like I lost power. You know what I mean? Like, I always do the show, regardless, always. So people can always count on us in that way too, right? Because we're extremely consistent, you know. So that's what I love about it. But yeah, congrats to 250, man. We all did this together. 250 is fucking crazy, for sure. 250 is fucking nuts. So well done, man. Well done, and big thanks to the Music Mondays community, man, because we definitely wouldn't be able to do it without you guys, for sure. No way. Mm-mm. Yep. Once you just, yeah, right, goes right. I agree. I'd rather get criticism because you know it's a solid response. You're right, exactly. Like, and especially like being a musician too. Like, there's always like small stuff that people try to critique that I just don't think ultimately matter in like what people listen to music for. You know what I mean? Like, just because, you know, something's like really off and minor in the mix or whatever, like I don't feel the need to like point it out. You know what I mean? Like, you know it's there, I know it's there. Like, it doesn't really drag the song down. You know, like if a song's a banger, a song's a banger. You know, like a shaky mix is not going to change that. You know, so and plus a lot of the artists that do submit are like developing artists. They don't have like 10 years under their belt, bro. Like a lot of these people are like really new to this, and they're trying to like structure their craft and like really like develop their own sound, you know. So that's why I don't feel the need to like give unnecessary criticism like that. I mean, you can be constructive with it. Like I'll definitely say some things from time to time, but I won't like nag on it, you know, because again, like it doesn't really like ultimately take away from like how good or bad the song is. You know, sometimes it can, but you know, a lot of artists just need to take stuff back to the lab, you know, and just continue developing. And like, there's a few artists that have been submitting for quite some time that I watched literally just develop their fucking sound. It was crazy. Somebody like Laveris is one that immediately comes to mind. Um, TDG comes to mind for sure. Artists that have just really like progressed their sound throughout like the last 2 years or so. You know, it's like really cool to see. So that's why, you know, because it works. You know, little parts where the one, yeah, right. No one will care, right? Nobody's even gonna notice that, right? I agree. I agree. Point it out, but don't trash on someone. Yeah, no, definitely. Laveri's a TDG for sure. Laveri's has just been on a hot streak ever since recession rap. You know, so. But yeah, again, congrats on 250. Let's hop into some 250 submissions, my friends. So you guys know the deal. Let's hop over to Twitter and go see what's going on here. I know we have a fucking insane lineup tonight. I won't lie to you, Chief. We got a pretty crazy lineup here. Yeah, so one, two, three, four Patreons tonight. Patreon gang coming through, man. Huge shout out to all the Patreons. You guys are amazing. And then the rest of the community submissions. So I'm down. Since joining up with me, hey, no coincidence, right? No coincidence. Because you find a good producer, you can really like develop your sound a lot easier. You know, if you find like a good, consistent producer, it's way easier to just like it's more of like an open canvas. You know, you don't have to work with type beats all the time, or not having stems, or small things like that. In which again, in turn, always help your vocals a lot more, right? You can kind of develop that way. So always a W there, sure. But let's get into it, my friends. Per usual, submissions are always in the same format every single week. The only thing that does change is the date. Make sure you double check the date and you're submitting for a show that hasn't happened yet, because you guys would be surprised how many submissions we get for shows that happened like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? So make sure you're double checking the date. Make sure you're submitting for a show that has not happened yet. But per usual, they always read artists and creative submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on November 3rd, 2025 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/SonPlays, which is here and now. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creation, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. So per usual, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to pretty much everything here on the show. Obviously, vocals, instrumentals, unreleased, acoustic remixes, cover art, photography, vlogs, videography, music videos, of course. You name it, we've reacted to it, because the underground is filled with a lot of multi-talented people, right? We really kind of want to mix everything together. So for example, a lot of engineers are also vocalists, a lot of vocalists are also designers, a lot of designers are also producers. So we want to give the chance for people to show off whatever they're doing at the time, right? Because the underground is filled with like so many different types of talents. So that's the main reasoning behind that. And of course, we do have a 3-hour show limit, just to keep the show a little bit more palatable to watch back. One could argue that 3 hours is still a little bit long, but not as long as our 5-6 hour shows that we used to do in like 2023. You know what I mean? Like there was no time limit. So but 3-hour show limit, so just keep that in mind. And of course, submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Because again, that not only helps spread our message and grow our platform, but also you pay respect to everybody else that does wait for all their submissions to be reacted to every single week here on the show. And of course, you join a wonderful community of extremely friendly and talented creators. So kind of a win-win, right? Outside of that, Patreon subscriber submissions are played first every single week here on the show. So if you're subscribed to the Patreon at any tier, whether that be basic, advanced, or premium, you gain access to a whole bunch of goodies. But one thing that you do gain access to is the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which again, for the duration that you're pledged to the Music Mondays Patreon, allows for all of your submissions to be played first here on the show. So again, not only are you played at the height of viewership, right, but when people go and watch the VOD back, you're one of the first artists that pops up. So double advantage there. And huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays Patrons. You guys are wonderful. That's pretty much everything. Outside of that, one thing you do got to keep in mind is that submissions do close about a couple hours before the show starts. So again, you have like roughly 6.5 or so days to get your submissions in, right? So plenty of time, but a good rule of thumb is that if the show is live, submissions are closed. So that way there's no discrepancies when it comes to submission order, because we like to keep it organic. So again, if somebody submits, and it cuts off somebody who's been waiting for their submission to be reacted to, it kind of creates a gray area, right? So that's why we do close submissions about a couple hours before the show starts. Again, submissions open every single Tuesday, so keep that in mind. But outside of that, like we said, we have 4 Patrons tonight. So we're going to be kicking off with Flux, and then we're going down to Ghost, and then we got TDG, and we got the homie Lovaries for our last Patreon. Excellent. So let's get into it. Prods help you find your sound so much if the prod actually wants to work with you, not send beats. Yeah, no, facts. Facts. That's very facts. I know some amazing artists just lately been giving beats to just suit them for their Yeah, no, for sure. 100%. That totally happens. Some artists are like overly picky, but in a good way, So if an artist knows what they want, like it is what it is, like a couple of people on my team are like that, and we don't really compromise, just because, it's the artistic vision. 4 Patrons, right? Exactly. 4 Patrons tonight. We are bumping. But like I said, we are kicking off with the homie Flux, which is a brand new Music Mondays Patreon. So welcome on, Flux, to the crew. Thank you, homie. Now, Flux, a multi-genre talented producer and artist, has came through with a track titled Barely Holding On. The clique has been cooking up again. Misfit Clicked tagged. Wow. Okay, so Misfit Click is a underground collective filled with Flux and a few of his Artist mutuals, right? So, I think this is the first time we've like reacted to anything from Misfit Click, unless it was like from Jaded. But they sent a YouTube upload. Let's go crank this 720, go full volume here on the Misfit Click YouTube channel as well. Artist being picky is fun for me, not gonna lie. Yes, it can be annoying, but when you get that one beat, yeah, no, I agree. I agree. That's facts. That's facts, Ghost. I totally agree. W description here. Misfit Click is an online creative collective. SoundCloud, Twitter, Spotify. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. That's a W description right. Easy. Easy. Excellent. Alright, my friends. Let's get into it. Flux, Doveboy, Barely Holding On by the Misfit Click. Let's go. Actually go full screen for this one. Wow. Damn. Okay. Wow. So, I don't think we've ever reacted to Doveboy here on the show, but that was a really, really great first impression, actually. One thing I love from both of them on this is not only the writing, right, but I think the flow and cadence and delivery, like, they really, like, were spot on with this. Like, they were really, really spot on with this. That was a chill vibe. No, I agree. I agree, for sure. Um, Definitely more on the emotional side as well, which they do really well. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the lyric video for "Barely Holding On." We'll talk about the theme as well. But let's talk instrumental. So man, instrumental mix absolutely fucking nailed it. I mean, it's one of those simple but very effective instrumentals, right? Where there's not too much going on, but what you do have going on has to be like a really solid mix. And everything was great here. Sound selection was awesome. Everything kind of knocked really hard. Vocals sounded great on top. Nothing really clashing or too overbearing, to be honest with you. Like it was right where it needed to be as far as quality goes, right? So, instrumental mix solid. Let's talk instrumental Shining Star. Man, the melody really kind of set the tone here. No, I feel like if you don't say melody here, it's kind of crazy. But I do love the drums though. Sound selection on the drum was really solid, especially the kick. I like the kick a lot. Let's go melody just because it really sets the tone here. I do like the drums. Structure is good, but let's go melody on this one for sure. Melody set the mood. I agree, man. I agree. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Actually, these two sounded really solid together. I wasn't sure like what they were gonna sound like together, but I really liked the transition from Flux to Doveboy. I really thought the vocals were solid on this one, especially mixing quality wise. They both meshed really well. So no real gripes for me on this one. Levels were good, quality was good. Nothing that would ultimately change in the vocal mix at all. Vocal Shining Star. One thing that I really loved is the flow and cadence and delivery from both of them. Like, they really found their footing on this one. You could just tell that they were comfortable on this. But writing's up there, meaningful, emotional, really raw writing. But I think flow and cadence and delivery really takes the cake on this one. I won't lie. I won't lie. Yeah, let's go flow and cadence and delivery, man. Let's do that. Just because it amplified the writing even more, right? So, instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk about the lyric video for Barely Holding On. So, simple but very effective. Love the cover, right? Love the cover for the lyric video. And then the kind of vintage retro, almost windy effect going on here is like really solid too. But I think what really made this for me was actually the font is pretty sick too. But what really kind of like put this over the edge for me, right, was the lyrics weren't trying to do too much, and it takes up like a really solid space of the video. You know, it's not too distracting, but it's also like leaving enough wonder for the visual and for you to actually like enjoy the track, right? So I think the shining star here was definitely the lyrics on the lyric video and how this was edited. Simple, but again, very effective. And then the overall theme, again, I feel like they were both on the same page on this one. Like I said, very raw, real, emotional kind of writing. And, you know, everybody kind of feels like this from, you know, one time in their life, or, you know, maybe you kind of go in and out of it, or, you know, people just deal with that weird ass feeling, especially like I was just talking about, like post COVID. Like, it's just weird, you know? So I feel like they really like touched on their respective emotions like pretty well, for sure. So well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Flux and Doveboy. Make sure you go sub to Misfit Click on YouTube now that we subscribed. They're only 4 subs away from 30. That's a W fucking milestone, baby. And of course, huge shout out to Flux. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Make sure you go follow Flux on Twitter. They are approaching 2.4K on the Bird app. So make sure you go show them some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. I think we're only like 1 away, man. We're like super close. Make sure you go sub to the channel, man, because we do upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz. This is over there on the channel. Let's get it, baby. Alright, my friends, we kicked off with the homie Flux. Up next is the homie Ghost. Now, Ghost, a multi-genre, very talented producer, came through with another unreleased instrumental here. So, backstory behind the song. I'm making a project in Anemone. I was going to do an EP, but I might make a 10-song album instead of the members. Looked at artists I talked to who worked and not worked with. This loop might not be available. I tried to see if it was, but I never got a response about it. So now we wait for a response and the producer. MLB tag might be changing a clean tag soon, as well as someone just waiting for it to be sent to me. Okay. All right, I'm down, Ghost. I like that little backstory there. I got you. And actually, Ghost caption as well is similar to what Ghost actually explained here. I don't know if this is available, so this might be changed to another loop. So we might get some. This is some rare unreleased here, because you know, it might be changed. So now we're viewing it before any switches happen. So this is pretty rare, actually. All right, let's get into it. Some more unreleased Ghost. I'm down. Let's full screen this bad boy.
Be so fucking crazy that it must be Ghost produced.
Loop is crazy. What? Oh man. Love the drums. I hope this is available. Yeah, no way, for real. Yeah, facts, Ghost. Facts. Oh shit. The switch up is crazy. That was tough. That was really tough. Crazy outro too. The outro is very interesting. Wow, well done, well done. Yeah, no, I agree. Hopefully you can actually like keep this one, man. Cause fuck, I want a new okay, yeah, under the loop for that part. Yeah, but for now I don't know if it's available. It's like yeah, if it's available, it's staying like that. Yeah, yeah. Facts, 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 facts. Damn, well done. Holy shit. Um. All right. So obviously no vocals. So we're gonna talk about two things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental and talk about the overall theme of this unreleased Ghost instrumental. Um. So the mix is great. I love the 808s. Everything's solid. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. I feel like all the sound selections were really solid. Everything complements each other. Levels were good. Nothing that I would like ultimately switch up. Like I always say, Ghost's uh mixing on their instrumentals usually is pretty good. So not really a shocker there. It's something you always want to point out for anybody new here, right? But Ghost definitely has a very consistent mix, I will say that. Um Instrumental Shining Star. Now this one's gonna be tough because if I do say the melody and it gets switched, that's gonna suck. It's like shit. So it switches vibes at two parts of the first little rewind thing. Right, right. Yep. Yep. Which I liked. I liked that a lot. I kinda wanna do say melodies though, but honestly, underrated Shining Star here is definitely the structure. I'm not gonna lie to you. Definitely the structure. For sure. I feel like that's extremely underrated. Like you can tell the structure is like really well thought out, like just by looking at the waveform, right? Structure is fucking sick. So I think I kind of want to go structure. I'm not gonna lie to you, Chief. Let's go structure here for sure. Definitely, definitely. So instrumental solid, definitely a structure. Let's talk theme. So obviously unreleased, no cover art or anything like that. But like Ghost said, definitely has that internet money flavor to it as well. But it's so bouncy and nice, and like I feel like you could really tell by like the hats as well. Like they definitely achieved that sort of sound for sure. So I feel like you guys smashed out of the park on this one. Definitely, definitely. Well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Homie Ghost. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Ghost on Twitter, by the way. Ghost is only 7 followers away from 560. Just make sure you go show Ghost some love on the bird app, my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Money's YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all that good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Putting my whole effort into this because I've wanted to do a project with internet money. The fact that I have, yeah, facts, Ghost, 100%, 100%, absolutely. Got to go hard for it. Absolutely, my friend, for sure. So we left off with the homie Ghost. Let's see here. Up next is the homie TDG, aka Chill the Grave, a very talented hip hop artist. Came through with a track titled "Still Chasing." Now TDG's been on a hot fucking single run. You know, their last like 3 or 4 submissions have been pretty fucking crazy, I won't lie. You know? So let's go see what TDG's been up to, man. Still Chasing. Cover art is crazy, wow. What does that remind me of? It has like the bully, like the PS2 game aesthetics. It has like the bully aesthetics, no? And holding the time is pretty crazy. Yeah. No shit. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. TDG actually said prod by me. It does. Yeah, no, I thought I was a tripping. It kind of has like the bully aesthetic, though. But let's get into it. TDG, Still Chasing. Let's go. I was like, what the hell?
Came with the same click, lines on saying, like when it dangerous that you're hanging with. Time came quick, still quick, brings new days, same shit. Yeah. Came with the same click, lines on saying, like when it dangerous.
Holy shit.
things I wanna say and never have to say. So avoid the light and cage. Hollowed in my brain, I like this way. I'm insane. I think I like
Wow.
my ways. Even with the pain, it's all the fucking same. I think I wanna remain every which place. See every which thing. Don't question to reframe. I go float to another place beyond what is space. I just do it right away. Like it gonna happen anyways. Not a thought about it, then later thoughts about it. I should up and out it. Often enjoy to doubt it. I'm all about it. Yeah, my sun is clouded. My mind is drowning. My ideas I go around and moving mountains to avoid what is about it. I'm frowning. Yeah, the way of missing surroundings, which makes me lack of self-control. Some things I can't let go. Critical in the belly of the beast. As I circle the lines I believe, mess with me like the room, nothing clean. And when I can't create entropy, mess with everything. It's how it's supposed to be. I know it's almost separate things. Nothing can fix this.
Holy shit. EG fucking ripped that. My god, holy shit. Poncho, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Stream and Family, my friend. Could I show you a song I made? It's not finished though. We currently do not accept submissions as the show is live. Submissions are currently closed. So make sure you go check out our socials for when submissions open. Submissions for episode 251 definitely open tomorrow though. So make sure you go follow us on socials and stay up to date. We got 3 in the chat. Welcome on in. Sorry I'm late as fuck. Did I miss Jay or no? No, you did not. We're actually just finishing up the Patreons right now, and then we're going to get into the rest of the community submissions as well. So we'll be good there. But this was crazy. This was fucking crazy. Again, kind of like I was saying at the start of the show, TDG is one of those artists, man, where we've just seen, insane progress over the last year or so, Like, damn. Very impressive. Very impressive. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, we're going to talk about 3 things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental, we're going to talk about vocals, and talk about the overall theme of Still Chasing. I love the concept as well. But let's talk instrumental. Prod TDG. Love this instrumental, especially when the beat fully kicks in. The 808 is fucking crazy on this one. I was like, holy shit. That'll knock a house over 100%. So the production on this is fantastic. TDG is already known for being a really, really solid producer, but especially when they get on their own beats, they really know how to like utilize them, So, instrumental mix though, with that said, fantastic. Nothing that I would ultimately change, nothing super clashy, too overbearing, or anything that really bothered me at all. Levels were good, quality was good. I definitely thought it was solid, for sure. Instrumental Shining Star just might be the drums though, I won't lie. But also, the structure's up there too. But the drums, though, I don't know. I feel like the drums are up there. Melodies are pretty underrated too, but I think we're going to go with drums on this one. Let's go with drums, just because the 808 was fucking nuts. The 808 was absolutely nuts. So, instrumental solid. Shining Star, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, again, something that has improved tenfold by TDG. They've just been a improvement machine in terms of like the last year or so. Their flow and cadence and delivery is getting better each song. Their mix is getting better each song. Like, it's just so noticeable, man. So well done for that. But vocal mix definitely solid. Again, nothing super clashy, too overbearing. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals sit nice in the instrumental. Nothing I would like ultimately switch up on this either. So vocal mix definitely up there, and something that TDG has improved like tenfold for sure. Vocal Shining Star though, I do like the flow and cadence and delivery. It has that good like lazy sort of laid back, kind of feel. But I feel like the writing was pretty raw too. The writing was definitely fucking raw. Let's go with writing and lyrics on this one. This is one where you gotta spin back a few times and really like take it all in. Let's go writing on this one for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Like I was saying to Ghost, this does give that like bully PS2 game like aesthetic here for some reason, like something you'd see on like on the wall in the school or something like that. I just love the aesthetics of this. And it's like just like the Reaper at the desk, and you're holding a clock, and it's just like shit. The ever impending time in a bottle, eh? But yeah, really makes you think. One of those pieces. You don't see art like this too often where you're like, oh shit. So aesthetics definitely on point. Simple but straight to the point. Absolutely. And I just love the colors on it. The colors are great. Um, Overall theme, still chasing. I mean, still chasing pretty much everything, right? Your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, and like really like the upper echelon of life. And it's different for everybody. It could be different for you than it is for me, or what people want in life is always different, right? So, it's definitely going towards that concept for sure. And I feel like TDG did a really good job, kind of explaining the way that they feel about it, right? So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to TDG. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. They're approaching 1.1K on the cloud, so make sure you go follow them over there. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They are 4 followers away from 160, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. I think we're only like 1 away, so make sure you go show some love to the Music Mondays YouTube channel. We do upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you. We're in time in. Yeah, no, for sure. You guys are good. Get some more heads in here. I fuck with the concept. Yeah, no, for sure. No, I agree. TDG has been improving steadily, man. Like, really steadily, for sure. So, our last, but certainly not least Patreon of the night, the homie Levaries. Now, Levaries, a very talented hip-hop artist, has had a stellar 2025. Between EPs and full lengths and solo tracks and features, this is something I don't think we've ever heard from Levaries. In their caption, I made a diss track. No shit. And it's called Fakes. Okay. Now, this will be interesting, because I have no doubt that Levaries could really, do well with something like that. Oh, shit. So it looks like this got dropped by Clubhouse 717. Welcome to the Clubhouse. 22 songs, 56 minutes. Holy shit. Put the lineup on here. Wow. Okay. Now, Fakes is track 6 with Levaries. Well. Okay. Alright, I'm down. Let's get into it. Levaries, Clubhouse, Fakes. First diss track. I mean, I'm sure we've reacted to diss tracks before without even knowing it.
Welcome to the clubhouse.
Yeah, Levaries. There's a lot of fakes in this game. I can't stand this shit. Pussy ass rappers getting mad cause I fuck this bitch. I ain't even had to
Oh,
tell her
shit.
She just let me in. Why you post your bitch if you ain't wanna get hit? I just hit her with the follow. I didn't have to follow her. She double tapping on my pic. She telling me that you a bum. What the fuck? How you wifing up a bitch that's begging for my nut? I just hit her once and she in love. You can't make her come, huh? Yeah, that's what she told me. Usually I let it slide, but that's the old me, huh? How you hit me for a verse? Had you begging for a couple months? Told you what the feature cost and you ain't wanna pay up.
Uh-oh.
Huh? You're broke as fuck, must be. Bitch, you're fucking musty. She a junkie slut, so you must be a custody. Yeah, and I know you fucking lied about making that beat. Okay, let's
Oh,
move on
shit.
to the next motherfucker. I got hella rounds for anybody. Yeah, 25 and you just got your license last week. Still living with your mama, shit. That could never be me. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I'm too independent. Fuck my money good and now it's pregnant with some triplets. I like digits, I could never be one washing dishes. 10K that's in my bank, I'ma flip it till $1 million. If I pay you for a cover, then I need that shit on time. It better not be no way. Yeah, that shit better look real nice. I need that
Real.
shit real fucking tight, just like my bitch pussy. And if it's trash, then I'ma pass. You must be a rookie. I can't be no rookie. I done ran the game for 7 years. I put
What?
Yeah, I don't even really get too much of a fuck for real. I really don't. I mean, like,
Holy
they gonna
shit.
take me off the album. I'm kind of lying, and then not drop the album. Like, you know, I had the best verse in that whole shit anyway. There's a lot of fakes in this game. I can't stand this shit. Pussy ass
Wow, Laverius does not hold back.
I ain't even have to tell her shit. She just let me in. Why you post your bitch if you ain't wanna get in hit? I just hit her with the follow. I didn't have to follow her. She double tapping on my pic. She telling me that you a bum. What the fuck? How you wiping up a bitch that's begging for my nut? I just hit her once and she in love. You can't make her come, huh?
Holy shit.
That's what she told me, huh? Usually I let it slide, but that's the old me. I gave me for a verse. Had you begging for a couple months and you ain't even dropped a fucking album, bro. That shit was probably fucking ass anyways. Please don't drop that shit, bro. Please.
Yo, who the fuck pissed off Laverius, bro? Holy shit. What the fuck? That was actually gnarly. That was actually fucking gnarly, I won't lie. Holy shit. I missed Twin, bro. He went in on this. He went in on this. But it wasn't like too overboard either. It wasn't like trying to be edgy, but Laverius definitely didn't pull any punches at all. Wow, 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 wow. And it's a true diss track. I must say it's definitely not, like I said, it's not pulling any punches whatsoever. It's a real true diss track, 100%, 100% through and through. Especially the stuff of, you know, like some of the personals out there. Oh man, even the hook. It's just like shit. That's crazy. Well done, well done. Whoever pissed off Laverius definitely got fucking washed on this for sure. Good lord. Will we see a response? Is the question. But no, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of Fakes. Relatively obviously, but we're still gonna talk about it. Break it down. Let's talk instrumental. I love this choice for a diss. It's very theatrical. It's very like fast paced, but it's also very dark as well. So yeah, I love the choice. I love the choice, and the mix is great. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing, or anything that I would like super switch up on the mix at all. You know, not really a shock or anything that involves Laverius. Usually has a really solid mix, right? Um, so instrumental mix solid, instrumental shining star. Um, probably I don't know, man. Probably structure. I'd say structure, right? Drums are up there though. I do love the melody. Mm, let's go structure. Let's go structure for sure. Simple but very effective structure. 100%. Instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, really solid Laverius type mix. Nothing like super out of the ordinary or anything that I would like switch up on this. Again, Laverius has really improved their mix and a lot of the quality parts of their music over the last like year or so. Like so, some of their progress has just been crazy. You know, truly. So vocal mix definitely on point. Raw, real, but not too raw and too like overbearing or anything like that, right? So, vocal mix up there. Vocal shining star. Probably the writing. It was really solid writing. Like even though it is a diss track, it's you still have to like write good. You can't just say crazy shit and expect it to like sound sick. Like that first verse is pretty fucking gnarly. I won't lie. So yeah, definitely writing and lyrics for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. This is off of a compilation album from Clubhouse 717. Welcome to the Clubhouse. Cover art is fucking great. Has that good like indie horror sort of feel to it, especially with the bats in the background and the crib. The crib's even like a little bit blurry. It's actually kind of insane, and that window in the middle is kind of nuts too. But welcome to the Clubhouse on the text. Definitely album worthy for sure, and little parental advisory at the bottom middle. Definitely gets the job done for a full length project for sure. Overall theme for Fakes. So I mean, realistically, pretty self-explanatory. I made a diss track, and boy, that is quite the fucking diss track. That's for sure. I feel like Laverius definitely achieved that. That's a fact. There is a response. It's over for them. I'll make an insane beat for Laverius. Ghost coming in clutch. Ghost said, "Fucking hold my beer." Um, but yeah, aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme, like I said, and it definitely is a diss track. It's one of the first ones that has been like publicly, admitted to being a diss track. Like, I'm sure we've reacted to adjacent diss tracks and people just like really like, um really like make them but don't say that they're diss tracks, right? They'll throw like subliminals, but this is the first like real full blown the purpose of the song is a diss track, Like Laveri's definitely fucking bailed that for sure. So overall theme fantastic. I feel like Laveri's definitely did the one and done. I mean, shit, I feel wow. Yeah, like shit. Shout out to whoever pissed off Laveri's because made Laveri's actually make a fucking banger, eh? So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Laverius. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Laverius at Clubhouse717 on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Laverius on Twitter. We're only 7 followers away from 150, so make sure you go show him some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, I think we're only like 1 sub away from 330. So, oh no, I got an ad running. Shout out to all you guys who actually watch the ads, man, because it supports the stream as well. So, we never ask you guys to sub or anything like that. That's completely optional. But for those of you that are real ones out there watching the ads, you're fucking legendary because that supports the channel. That does not support Twitch. That supports the channel. So we appreciate you. Not like, those regular internet ads where it doesn't help us, So let's see here. Appreciate it. Yeah, of course, Jafer. We got you, homie. For sure. I know the ads can be a bitch, but at least you can take solace in, watching it and muting it and knowing that it supports the channel, right? Because if they were just ads that we didn't get monetization from, then that would be a different story, right? But shout out to all you guys who do watch the ads, man. You guys are awesome. I watch every time. I appreciate you, homie. No worries. And we don't even mind if you run an ad block or anything like that. You again, we're not forcing you, but just know that when you do watch Twitch streams and you're watching ads, that helps the creator more than it helps Twitch. So just keep that in mind for sure. But I'll watch all the ads. No ad block. Let's fucking get it, 3. Let's get it, baby. But that does it for all of our Music Mondays Patreons. So huge shout out to the homie Flux, huge shout out to the homie Ghost, TDG, and the homie Laverius. You guys are amazing, and everybody else over there on Patreon. You guys are awesome. Get it, baby. Turn off your ad block, get your friends paid. Right. And that goes for any streamer, right? So if you're on Twitch a lot and you're watching ads of your favorite creator, that helps them greatly for sure. So shout out to you guys who are real ones for that. I get it can be annoying sometimes, right? You get like a minute worth of ads, you're like, fuck, you're missing the stream and shit like that. But that's the alternative if you don't want to sub, because we never pressure to sub or anything like that. So if you don't feel like subbing or anything like that, watching the ads also supports the stream. So yeah, W there. But we're going to start off with the rest of our community submissions, top to bottom. First up, we got the homie, Sam's Raps, a very, very talented hip-hop artist, came through with an unreleased demo. Okay, and it's Prod Blank Thought. Demo for my upcoming project. I'm down. I'm absolutely down. Click anywhere to open. This is our first untitled submission, I believe. Not enough people are using this app right now. I think only like 2 or 3 people on my team are using this. So shout out Sam's Raps. Knowing ball right there for sure. And Prod Blank Thought, huge shout out to homie Blank Thought, fantastic producer and Music Mondays staff writer. Untitled is GOAT for sure. Very underrated. But let's get into it. Some unreleased Sam's Raps Prod Blank Thought. The PC version is really nice too. Especially the share feature. Fantastic. Totally agree. Totally agree. And the password protection, yep.
Hey. Hi. Don't start with me, I'll start be sure you verses cost a sweet, perform this rap song. Stretching far beyond my form, cause I won't last long. So what I'm making's all for you, I let the past talk. Now in the past, I was angry, anxious, and misanthropic, thinking that I grow or change people to learn to stop it. But now I notice
Holy
the
shit.
zones since you're an embryo, and nothing ever changes but bonds chosen for liner notes. They take your talents and clean the slate, assimilate. You deviate, they hate to leave you out to isolate. But you can concentrate and leave them in a vapor state. Faces wane dismayed in the labor taking like half a day. They so unserious, co-conspirators flow mysterious.
What the fuck?
His peerless nature will rock the boat. His foes are weary of hearing quotes they never wrote. He wrote this cloaked in a cloud of smoke while he disappearing. He reappeared delirious, here to clear up the misconceptions. His reckless wreckage impresses hecklers and keep appearing. The mic in front of him low lighted and jotting notes. The lines he wrote are just sound better if you can hear him. He go for pyramids, building something they couldn't fathom. He the last bastion for rapping and ditching maxims. He slashed the pad with a pin that's actively skinning dragons. Spent like half the evening just half blasted and twisted cabbage. The little battles
Holy
of
shit.
daily life get to stacking up. The daily battle of little lives is to pass the buck. A deer hunter, I'm stacking dough like a pack of bucks. I'm near jumping, but
Whoa.
rather die from the natural stuff. It packs a better punch when I'm packing bud in a glass of blunt. Forgot to ask you on the gas in a glass of blunt. How about the mask? Are you hidden from what you hiding from? Trust is never lasting, facade is never worth dying for.
Oh my god. Yo, Sam's fucking bodied this. What the fuck?
Hidden from what you hiding from. Trust it never lasting, facade is never worth dying for.
Holy shit. Cold. Very cold. My lord. Wow. That was a fucking journey. We're getting a lot of those bangers tonight where people are just like embodying their tracks. Like, holy shit. Wow. Wow. And it's Prod Blank Thought too. Like, that is such a sick duo, man. I think we've reacted to some Sam's raps with Blank Thought, but not many. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. And keep this in mind that this is a demo, so this version could change depending on when the official version comes out, right? But man, instrumental, fantastic. You know, we don't get enough Blank Thought production anymore. So it's nice to see Blank Thought, you know? like it's really nice to see Blank Thought for sure. So, I love the choice. Instrumental mix fantastic per usual. Has a good OG lo-fi kind of sound, but also very modern as well. Perfect for Sam's raps. But instrumental mix definitely on point. Sound selection great. Nothing super clashy or anything that I would like ultimately change on the instrumental. Definitely not. Blank Thought is extremely talented, and they're very good at these types of instrumentals. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. The drums are up there. They keep up a good pace, but I think I'm gonna go with the melody. I feel like the melody really sets the tone of like late night, like jazzy sort of vibes, you know, like LA Noir kind of deal. So definitely a melody. Let's go melody on this one for sure. For instrumental solid, definitely a melody. Let's talk. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, and this is what I was just thinking of. I really like this vocal mix, and the fact that it's a demo is pretty fucking crazy. You know, like hopefully this version does pass through because I do like the vocal mix on this. I'm not gonna lie. But Sam's raps usually has a really, really solid vocal mix. Even in their demos, it's really, really solid. So again, no gripes there at all. Definitely not. Nothing super flashy or too overbearing or anything like that. I definitely enjoy their vocal mix here on this. Even for it being just a demo, right? Let's see here. So, vocal mix solid, vocal shining star. So, you know, it's got to be writing. You know, some of the lines in there, like, they're coming at you so fast. Like, if you're not paying attention, like, you can miss a lot of cool shit. And Sam Rapp's such a talented writer. So it'd be a crime for me not to say writing and lyrics on this. Although the flow and cadence and delivery is fucking solid too. But yeah, writing and lyrics are up there. I think we're gonna have to go writing and lyrics on this for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely the writing, lyrics. Let's talk theme, aesthetics, obviously unreleased, not final cover art, but definitely is almost a scary picture because it's like the looming winter approaches, you know, it's that snow shovel vibe and you're like, fuck, man. You know, especially with Halloween being over, it's like, oh no. But a great temporary cover nonetheless though. Overall theme. This is one where I could see this being a favorite off the project for sure. Demo for my upcoming project. Yeah, this I could see this being a favorite. I could see this being a favorite, 100%. One that really shows Sam's skill as a writer, but as an artist with their delivery, right? So definitely one that I would like put at the forefront of the project, you know? Definitely like, you know, oh, you put out a new song, like blah, 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 or you put out a new project, this is like the first one that you should show people. Although, granted, take that with a grain of salt because we haven't heard the rest of the project yet, so who knows, maybe we'll be able to find out and see if this is the top one or not. But personally, I thought this was fucking insane, so well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Homie Sam's Raps. Make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're approaching 1.2K on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, let's get into it, my friends. We left off with the homie Sam's Raps. Up next is the homie 3, aka 3 the Real, aka Ethereal, has came through with Lotus. Want to submit a joint on behalf of my better half, Maddie, this week too. This is Lotus. This is the lead single for her upcoming album, Flow State. Maddie Jaden's mid-journey pioneering hyper glitch rap. She's my favorite artist. Wise words. I like this. Wow. I submitted for her and me. Actually, I did notice that. I believe the other one is like down here, right? And then we have something from Morivivi as well. Yeah, so we'll be ending the show with that. But I'm down. So this is technically a first time submitting artist. Wow. Okay. So let's pop this open a new tab. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. So obviously first time submitting artist. We're gonna go in blind. We don't know what to expect, right? So we're gonna keep an open mind here, for sure. Lotus. When did this drop? July 23rd, 2025. So not super new, but not super old either. So still pretty relevant, right? She produced it. I mixed it. Lotus is crazy. Okay, I'm down. Let's get into it. Maddie Jade. Lotus, let's go.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this unfortunate message. Maddie Jade has been cancelled. It seems she once again told someone on the timeline. What a shame.
What a shame.
Lucky I thrive on the brink of psychosis. Street side sound got the scene in the swamp on surveillance. I'm still singing sound waves, still further notice.
Holy shit.
Lyrical lotus should study the way I've been pushed through the mud from the jump and stay flat at the tip of my tongue. I'm mother the way that I reach for the sun. Can't be warm with y'all hoes reptilian blood. These little rap boys don't be talking about none. I should know. Fire my second language. These limbs addicted to validations. I don't even work for the engagement. Heard you been staring at blank pages since you downgraded. See, I make art cause I'll die if I don't. You do this shit for the entertainment. It's insane, ain't it? How can no brain it?
Wow.
Sound potion so potent, serve it up to the crowd and collect payment. I got 3 in my bag plus like 8 digits. Yeah, I know it sounds sweet, but don't play with it. I'ma need you to stay out my way, legit.
Holy shit.
My goons don't miss when they shoot. Hide you in the lagoon. Any beat that you send, I'll treat like a spittoon. Book a gig at the beach and we'll pack out the room.
Wow.
I pull up to the show on a redneck pontoon. Maddie be racking and back into blooms.
Whoa. Now that is a crazy first time submission. That is fucking wild. See, that's why we always keep an open mind, right? Especially with first time submitting artists, because we don't know what to expect, right? And that was insane. That was fucking insane. And I believe 3 put it really well here. The lead single for her upcoming album Flow State, Maddie Jade, is mid-journey pioneering hyper glitch rap, and that's a good term for it. 100%. It's crazy. Like when we do get women artists here on the show, man, it's just fucking nuts. Like all the time. Well done. That's cooked. I did those pitch chops up in the Vox. That's sick. Man, he's an incredible artist. Hyper glitch lap is our Lego. I like it. I mean, perfect way to describe it too. No, I agree. Even the cover is like somewhat glitchy too, right? I mean, cover art goes hard too. So I get it. I see the vision here. I see the vision here. I got Jay Furrow and a boom. No shit. Shout out to homie Jay Furrow. See, that's gonna be a good duo right there. Made the cover art. You killed this. You absolutely killed this. I love this. This was great. This was fucking great. Because it does have that glitchy sort of feel, for sure. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Lotus. So let's talk instrumental. Fantastic. I mean, it's partially the reason for that glitchy sort of feel, right? But it doesn't like stray too far off where you're getting into like electronic-y sort of sounds. It still has its like hip hop roots, but it's very very glitchy, if you will, for the lack of a better term, right? So instrumental mix, really solid. No gripes at all, especially for this type of instrumental. Sometimes they can be annoying to fucking mix, because when you take that glitch route, it's always like risky. Sometimes it can be really easy to mix, and then other times like stuff just won't work with you. You know what I mean? But this one I liked. Fantastic. Definitely no gripes in the mix at all. Levels were good, quality was good. Again, nothing that would ultimately change on the instrumental. Definitely not. You can tell it was handled with care, for sure. There's an art to it. There really is. Absolutely well said. For sure. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. I do like the structure on this a lot. But I think the melody's up there too. I like the drums as well. Man, this one's kind of tough. To be real with you, I kind of want to say structure, just because it is a minute 17, and like Maddie came through and just like bodied the whole minute 17. So I think I want to say structure here for sure. Even though drums and melody are up there, I think we're gonna go structure for sure, 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Great actually. A really, really great vocal mix. I won't lie to you. Especially for this glitch sort of style that they're going for, right? I feel like they're really, nailing it down, Like, I really feel like the vocal mix was right where it needed to be for, this type of style, right? So, vocal mix right on the money. Right on the money, 100%. And especially with like levels and qualities, yeah, 100%. Vocals are right on the money. So vocal mix solid, vocal shining star. I'm kind of torn between writing and lyrics and flow and cadence and delivery. I feel like the flow and cadence and delivery made the writing more enjoyable as well. So that's the thing there. But I think we're gonna go flow and cadence and delivery on this for sure. I feel like the flow and cadence was absolutely nuts. Like from start to finish, there was not one space wasted on this at all. So let's go flow and cadence and delivery for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. So I love this cover art. I feel like it represents the song so well, especially the colors, right? I feel like the colors here really, really add on to it. But again, one of those covers where the more you look into it, the more it's like glitching out and, the more detail you see. So it's one of those things where it's really solid for a single just because it's very eye-catching and very memorable as well. You know what I mean? So aesthetics absolutely on point for sure. Overall theme, Lotus. I mean, obviously with the lotus flowers on the cover and things like that, I feel like that's solid. But also not one that I would like dig super deep for a theme for. This is one where I would definitely kind of enjoy their writing and lyricism on this for sure, especially the flow and cadence delivery. It's just one where you really gotta like take it in. Lyrical Lotus is a great way to put it too. But yeah, no, this is one where I would just really, really enjoy the writing and lyrics on this one for sure. So well done, my friends. Huge shout out to homie Maddie Jade and 3. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, and of course make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They'll be linked in the description of the Music Mondays YouTube re-upload. Of course, per usual, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the Music Mondays YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episode, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Mondays. Oh, well done. What a show tonight already, man. Holy shit. Yeah, Ghost is insane. Yeah, no, all of you guys are fucking insanely talented, man. So per usual, we're about halfway through the show, so we're gonna take a quick commercial break. I'm gonna need all you guys to get up, go stretch your legs, go get a drink, go get a snack, go get a water, maybe go take a smoke break or anything like that. And when we return, we're gonna dive right back into the rest of the submissions for episode 250. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Music Mondays podcast, episode 250. Hope you're well, hope you're chilling. I'm your host, John Slays. Let's get right back into the rest of our submissions here. I cook fast now, sometimes shit's gonna marinate. No, yeah, that's facts. That's super facts. Sometimes shit's just like not ready, you know? That's so facts. Let's see. So we left off with homie Maddie Jade. Up next would be the homie Flux, but Flux is a Music Mondays Patreon, so we've already reacted to their submission earlier in the show. So make sure you go check that out and go show Flux some love. Let's see here. So up next we have the homie Marco Pernice, a multi-genre talented producer and artist, has submitted a Latin Dream 2021 remastered. Let's see what we got here. Marco's always got the unconventional production, but they always make it work. Very genre blending, if you will. This is off of their project Electro Anthology. Let's get into it. 4 years ago, yeah, so 2021 remaster. Yeah, we've reacted to a few of these songs on this project, but I don't think that many. So let's get into it. Marco Pernice, A Latin Dream, let's go. It does have that vibe already. For sure. Bass is sick. Structure is really solid. Oh shit, it just fades out like that? What the fuck? Well done. Well done. Wow, that was a journey. But structure is everything there. You know what I mean? Structure is definitely everything there. So, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about no, actually, no vocals. So we're gonna talk about two things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this track. So, let's talk instrumental mix. A generally solid mix, to be honest with you. Marco usually has a pretty solid mix, even for some of their older tracks, right? So, yeah, no real gripes with this. Nothing like super clashy or overbearing or anything like that. I feel like Marco, definitely nailed it production-wise, right? Instrumental shining star on the other hand. Truthfully, it's got to be the structure, I think. Like for what? I think it's like a little over 3 minutes. Yeah, 3:34. Yeah, so the structure needed to be good. Like it absolutely needed to be good. So, um, definitely structure here. Although drums and melodies are up there, I think we're gonna go structure. Let's go structure on this for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk. Um, let's talk theme. So, let's see here. Overall aesthetics for Electro Anthology, definitely solid, simple but very effective, especially with like the lightning strike. I feel like that was a really solid choice here for sure, especially for like a smaller project, right? So aesthetics definitely on point, simple but straight to the point. Overall theme, a Latin Dream, it definitely has that like Latin root in it, but I feel like Marco really kind of blended in a few genres in here for sure. So, I feel like they definitely nailed the theme 100%. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Marco Pernice. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel. They're only 10 subs away from 50. Or no, 40, I'm sorry. And make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. They are approaching 1.5K on the Bird app. Make sure you go show them some love there on Twitter. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of our YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all that good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Ghost came through with the Hydrate. Let's get it, baby. I'm down. I'm down. That's a crazy submission. All right. Up next is the homie Jay Fur, a very talented vocalist, as came through with the track titled Boogeyman. I think you're gonna rock with this one heavy. Got some edge to it. Okay. We've only reacted to like 1 or 2 Jay Fur tracks, so this will be pretty new for us. We haven't really gotten a chance to dive into their discog yet, so let's see. Jay Fur Boogeyman official music video. Love this. Holy shit, the title card is great too. A great title card. Official music video for Jay Fur's single Boogeyman. Shot, edited, and directed by Naomi Ko. Download Boogeyman, Apple Music, Spotify here. Links in the description. Love that. Lots of love in the comments. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I'm down. Yo, man, let's go, bro. I'm down. All right, let's get into it. Jay Fur, Boogeyman, let's go full screen. Official music video, let's go.
Viper, this beat bite.
Who the man? Ain't the chosen one. I'm the boogeyman. Look at man. I don't want no problems. I just do my dance. Who the man? Had to take a shirt off like a super fan. Who's your man? S on my chest from the sex like I'm Superman. Baby wants a push. I'm a pusher man. Said it won't smoke. Caught a cushion man. Said it don't cook. Let me cook it then.
Okay.
I don't got a boogie. I just do my dance. I don't boogie. I'm the boogeyman. Huh?
Video is really crazy.
Who the man? Look around, I ain't seen no humans here. Creature on the feature, I'm your favorite rapper's biggest fear. Take some from us, handing out some souvenirs. Was words coming out your mouth, your verse on your new veneers. Y'all try to write me off, so I started writing this. Can see you use Microsoft, you only got computer clicks. I don't give a fuck about it, y'all can really suck my dick.
Oh,
Last
shit.
year to do this shit, they put him on a crucifix. They wonder how I'm doing this, going through a dog of bony, gonna end up chewing it. Gave the boy some tools, now we gonna end up screwing it. Looking at his life, now we wonder as he ruined it. As he ruined it.
Wow. Holy shit. MC to MC.
Who the man? Ain't the chosen one. I'm the boogeyman. Look at man. I don't want no problems. I just do my dance. Who the man? Had to take a shirt off like a super fan. Who's your man? S on my chest full of sex like I'm Superman. Baby wants a push. I'm a pusher man. Said it won't smoke. Caught a cushion man. Said it don't cook. Let me cook it then. I don't got a boogie. I just do my dance. I don't boogie. I'm the boogeyman. It's the boogeyman. Punchlines hitting like sugar hands. Looking land. Cooking up. I ain't even used the pan. Still sunning some of y'all. Looking like some Booker fans. I don't got a boogie. I just told the devil do my dance. Don't know what state he's in. Head spinning Tasmanian. Don't let him bring a baby in. The world gonna end up hating him. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I'm smooth as Diddy's floors, 1,000 bottles or more. This hip hop in galore, they ain't selling this in the stores. Making this on the floors, can hear me coming for yours. I'm about to break through the door. Give them a hit of this, they coming back for some more. They're saying I never missed, they watch piss on the floor. You're pissing the world off, can't see it like Ray Charles. I'm stepping up to the plate, now tell them to play ball. Y'all doing the game wrong, I'm making the same songs. It's really the same shit, y'all made from the same stalls. Harder than St. John's, get it popping like paintballs. It's only a long
Jeez.
trip, you never gonna see me fall. Who the man? Ain't the
Holy
chosen
shit.
one, I'm the boogeyman. Who the man? Ain't the chosen one, I'm the boogeyman. Who the man? Ain't the chosen one, I'm the boogeyman. Look at man, I don't want no problems, I just do my dance. Who the man? Had to take a shirt off like a super fan. Who's your man? S on my chest from the sex like I'm Superman. Like I'm Superman.
Well done. Holy shit. The B flip too, right? Yeah, shout out to homie. He did a crazy job editing this. Not too over the top either. Wow. Let's talk about this, man, because this is really fucking well done. I love the concept of it, right? Because it's not like too overbearing, it's not like doing too much. I feel like a lot of the shots are really solid. But I feel like the nighttime shots really make this. The nighttime shots are pretty crazy. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme and music video for a Boogeyman. Relatively obvious theme, right? But we're still gonna talk about it. The video is the main chunk here. The video is crazy. The video is really, really crazy. So let's talk instrumental. Speaking of the instrumental, shout out Viber Beats. Instrumental, I love the choice, especially for something like this where you just wanted to go on like almost like a diss, but not really. Like it's really like one of those darker, more like aggressive sounding sort of songs, right? But not like too overbearing or anything like that. So you needed an instrumental like this for sure. So I love the choice. Mix is fantastic. Nothing clashing too overbearing or anything that I would ultimately change at all. I mean, most of J First tracks, if not all of them, I think this is like the second or third that we've reacted to, have been fantastic. I love the mix, to be completely real with you. Especially the instrumental mix, for sure. So, instrumental mix, fantastic. Instrumental Shining Star. Damn. Probably the structure, but I feel like the drums are up there too. The melody's crazy. Melody gives it that good, dark, almost like horror like vibe, right? I think, man, but structure's up there too. Mm, drums are up there. Man, there's a few things that you could kind of say. Let's go structure though. That was the first thing. Let's go structure for sure. Definitely. Definitely. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. We purposely waited till night to make sure we got the right vibe with the shot. So thank you for saying that. That was intended. No, it looks great. 100%. It looks great. That like really sealed the deal for this video. The night shots are very important because the other shots are just as sick, but the night shots almost complement them, right? You know, so I feel like the nighttime shots are everything, especially with the fire. Like some of those shots are crazy. Wow. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, fantastic. Jafer has amazing vocals, especially when it comes down to their style, right? Just a good raw, clean, original hip hop style. You know, so vocals crispy, clean, levels are good, quality's good, nothing super clashy, too overbearing. Um, drums cut through nicely. Vocals definitely sit nice on the mix. I had no gripes with the quality of this at all. Definitely not. Definitely not. Vocal shining star here. You know, the writing and lyrics are really up there, but the flow and cadence and delivery is pretty fucking crazy. And the hook, too, though. The hook is definitely catchy. I think writing and lyrics in general, though, I think throughout the whole track are pretty crazy. Let's go writing and lyrics on this one, for sure, 100%. I feel like the Boogeyman title was very appropriate for this, for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the structure, vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk, obviously Boogeyman, right? But more of a Boogeyman in the sense of like, you know, hip hop and rap and just life in general, right? But I feel like J. Fur did a good job like making that statement. But I think the big thing that we gotta discuss here is the video. The video is fucking crazy. It's not like overly edited at all, but it has a good variety of shots here. This is the first time that we reacted to a J. Fur music video, right? And one thing that I really like about this is one thing that we always try to point out is if artists like look comfortable on camera. And J-Fur is definitely comfortable on camera, not stiff, not like looking in the wrong direction. You know, like some artists like take a while to warm up to the camera, right? But you could tell that J-Fur had zero problem, you know, and that's what I really like about this. Because none of these shots are awkward or stiff or anything like that, especially the nighttime shots, right? I feel like J. Fur is really owning this, right? Because a big part of being an artist, right, is if you don't like believe yourself, other people won't believe you, you know. So, that's one thing I noticed off rip is the comfortability, right, and the flexibility. So that's a huge plus. And then of course the shots and the editing are fucking insane. The post production on this is literally nuts. Like the small transitions, like it's just like small things, right? Like the little effects, but it's not like overly done. You know, like some videos can like really overdo it, but there's a good mix of like the edited shots and then like the more simple still shots. So that's one thing I like about this too. I think the shining star for the music video, man, is probably gonna be the editing. The editing is really like what brought it all together. But other than that, I would say the shots too. The nighttime shots specifically. Some of these red shots are pretty crazy too. But I think the overall editing really like made this what it is. You know, not too horror like, but like very dark as well. So I feel like they achieved a good middle ground here for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Jay Fur. Make sure you go subscribe to their YouTube channel, Dope Growth TV. They're only 10 subs away from 190, so make sure you go show them some love on the tube, man. And of course, make sure you go follow Jay Fur on Twitter. They're approaching 1.2K on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Monday's YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all that good jazz over there on the channel. Yeah, baby. And if you already have, thank you. Appreciate the recognition, man. Yeah, of course. We appreciate your submission, homie. Much love. Well fucking done. That was absolutely fucking crazy. Like, literally crazy. Absolutely well done. So let's see here. We left off the homie J Fur. Up next is the homie Mac 2 Times. So, Mac 2 Times, very, very talented hip hop artist. This came through with a track titled No Guarding It. Now, Mac 2 Times has been on another single run. So, let's fucking go. Let's see what we got here. 5 days ago. So, super new. Props. Yeah, let's get it. Let's fucking get it, Jay. So 5 days ago, brand spanking new Mac 2 times, no guarding it, let's go. Trying to build this up organically as much as possible? Absolutely. You're doing a great job. Doing an absolutely great job.
I shoot like I'm Kobe right over your hand. Just me, nigga, it ain't no guarding. I'm
Holy
done with these
shit.
hundreds of my hand. Yeah, like I need a scholarship. I'ma be the greatest. There ain't no debate in the charts. I'ma be on the top of it. Success it ain't given, but my future rated. I'm telling you, it ain't no stopping it. You lazy can't be in my circle. But nigga don't want you a part of it. If you cross me once, you get no second chance. But nigga don't want your apology. Lil' shawty, she bad, she poppin' it. Ass and Texas, so I'ma just rock with it. I'm counting it all, but I need some millions till it look like I just chopped a brick. I'm in the flow state, I do this shit with ease. She be one night, fuck it, we have 4 seasons. I make a way and she feel like the sea. After we fuck for the night, I might keep it. I changed my mind, she couldn't believe it. Guess you could say that the dick had a fiend. Can't focus on women, they gon' do the same. I'm just cutting them off before I start catching feelings. This little nigga fake, I can see in his face that he's gonna back door. No, it ain't no debate. But not a fives, I gotta get paid. Tell me what the fuck is a minimum wage. I cut off these niggas, they thought they was game. They asking me why the fuck did I change. I'm doing that shit cause it's been my dream. I can't ever say I do this for the fame. I shoot like
Holy
I'm Kobe
shit.
right over your head. Just me, nigga, it ain't no guarding. I'm done with these hundreds of my hand. Yeah, like I need a scholarship. I'ma be the greatest. There ain't no debate in the charts. I'ma be on the top of it. Success it ain't given, but my future rated. I'm telling you, it ain't no stopping it. I shoot like I'm Kobe right over
Oh my
your head.
god.
Just me, nigga, it ain't no guarding. I'm done with these hundreds of my hand. Yeah, like I need a scholarship. I'ma be the greatest. There ain't no debate in the charts. I'ma be on the top of it. Success it ain't given, but my future rated. I'm telling you, it ain't no stopping it.
Wow. Love the switch up. Let's go, Mac. Holy shit. Well done. Well fucking done. That was insane. That was definitely fucking insane. Holy shit. Wow. More of like a hip hop style and trap style from Mac here instead of like a little bit more like alternative hip hop style, right? Well done. Absolutely fucking well done. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. We're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, and we're gonna talk about the vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of No Guarding It. Another pretty good motivational track here from Mac 2 times. I feel like they've been getting those out a lot lately. So let's talk instrumental. Love the choice. Definitely has, like I said, more solid hip hop style that Mac can also do, right? So, switching gears a little bit here. So I do like the choice. Instrumental mix, fantastic. Love the sound selection. Drums are good. Nothing quality wise that I would like really gripe about, you know. Levels are good. Nothing that I really like, you know, really can gripe about on this for sure. Instrumental Shining Star. I feel like the melody's up there, but we gotta go with the drums here. Definitely gotta go with the drums, 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, fantastic. Levels are there. Quality was there. Drums cut through nicely. Nothing like super clashy or too overbearing or anything like that. Nothing that I would like really switch up. You know what I mean? So, vocal mix definitely solid, right where it needs to be. Vocal Shining Star. I feel like the writing was up there. The writing and lyrics for sure, but I think the flow and cadence and delivery kind of takes the cake too. Now let's go writing and lyrics on this one. Let's go writing and lyrics for sure. Mac has really like been upping their game when it comes down to like all aspects, but especially writing. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Suck theme. Aesthetics, no Guardian. Simple, straight to the point, though. I love this logo. You know, Mac is a pretty underrated cover artist. You know, like I don't think they like care too much for being a designer, but the covers that they do make are always fun. You know, so I like the aesthetics. Perfect for a single as well, right? So, aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme, no Guardian. Obviously, you know, a basketball reference there, but um, you know, Mac does a really good job. You know, setting the stage and really letting people know that they're like not stopping anytime soon. You know, so very much on the more motivational side of things when it comes down to writing. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Mac 2 times. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud, by the way. They're only 5 followers away from 30. So make sure you go show them some love in the cloud. Of course, make sure you go follow Mac 2 times on Twitter. They're only 6 followers away from 190. So go show them some love there on the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. Had a cool vibe. Yeah, Mac's sick, bro. Mac's definitely sick. I fuck with Mac 2 times. Totally agree. Alrighty, my friends. So, continuing on, we left off the homie Mac 2 times. Up next is the homie Nick Fail, a very talented producer. This came through. Hi Z, hear my new band, The Age of the Supervillain. No shit. Okay. Hold up. What we got here? Stop this open new tab. Let's see what we got. So Nick Fail came through. The Age of the Supervillain. Okay. Featuring Belva and Pat. That's fucking good. Please tell me you're a dealer. That's a goated comment right there. That is a goated comment. That's funny. I like that. All right, Nick Fail, The Age of the Supervillain. Let's get into it.
Freeze the bastard.
Always with the good edits. What the fuck? This is crazy already. Holy shit.
I'm not a warmonger, I'm just a big boy, loving cartoons and very expensive toys. People love me, melt and enjoy, spraying tears when I appear. Not of a guy, not of your guy.
Holy shit. Whoa.
I am the supervillain. I rule with superpowers. This is my will. My time has come. Your hope has come. You run in fear. Submit.
That's a cool edit.
Being notorious is on top of my list. I cut you into pieces with the blink of an eye. Democracy's over, it's all a lie. You need to be rude, you need to be guided. My propaganda is the most effective tool. It can be defeated even if I lose.
Holy shit.
Freedom incoming, incoming. Musicians, in it to tell. My kids into combat. Raise my flag on your graves. Like the Cobra Commander. I unleash my legions. I am the supervillain. I rule with super
Wow. What a great edit.
Humankind, doomed to cycles. You never learn. There's no need to think anymore. I owe the real knowledge. I am your only God. Your only God. Give me your fear. Give me your fear. Give it to me.
Holy shit.
The super
The social videos.
The super villain. I rule with superpowers. Masters my will. My time has come. You're a pesca. You're on in fear. Summon to me. I'm here.
Holy shit. Wow. What the fuck? We just watched a movie. We just watched a fucking movie. Oh my god. What the fuck? Holy shit, man. That was insane. I mean, they definitely captured the age of the supervillain, man. I'll tell you that. For sure. For sure. Wow. Huh. No shit. They did a good job, you know? I feel like they really nailed it when it comes down to, like, you know, the supervillain kind of aura, right? And like, what the supervillains of the real world are like, you know? So, well done. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the official visual for the Age of the Supervillain. This visual was fucking gnarly. So let's talk instrumental. Instrumental is fantastic, especially for more of like a longer 5 minute plus track, right? The instrumental, obviously, Prod Nick Fail, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Definitely has that good OG, like heavier kind of vibe, right? But still hits the spot when it comes to pacing and like hype, you know. So instrumental mix solid for what it is. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing, or anything that I would like ultimately switch up on this, you know. I'm a big fan of the instrumental mix here on this. It needed to be mint, and it definitely is right where it needs to be, for sure. Yeah, that's a good shout, 3. That's a good shout. I love the Cobra clips too, by the way, unrelated, but um, I was I was always a GI Joe kid growing up, but yeah, instrumental mix solid, definitely right where it needs to be. Like I said, nothing super clashy, too overbearing, or anything that like really tweaks me out, you know. Instrumental shining star, got to be the structure. The structure is fucking crazy. The melodies are up there, but I think I'm gonna go structure for sure. Let's go structure. So instrumental is solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix is pretty crazy. Raw, in your face, but not like undermixed, you know? But still very raw and in your face how this sound is really supposed to be, right? So I feel like they did a good job quality wise, and again, levels solid. Nothing like super clashy or too overbearing or anything like that. So vocals solid for both of them. For both Belva and Pap. Mm, so vocal shining star. I do like the hook. I feel like the hook is very memorable. But writing in general is up there too. Let's go writing and lyrics, just because the writing and lyrics really like hit the nail on the head when it comes down to like super villains in and out of real life, right? Um, so instrumental solid, definitely structure, vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme and about the official visual. The one thing I loved about this was the editing, 100%. Like, it has a fair amount of stock footage and footage from like news broadcasts and things like that, but it also has like a full blown storyline with these two behind a green screen, which I think is really clever. So the distribution of like those news broadcast clips and then like the green screen stuff is like pretty even, you know. So you get a good like grasp of the message, right? So I feel like the editing here definitely shined in. Editing definitely shined in for sure. So shining star for the visual here, definitely the editing for sure. Even the concept itself is very interesting, right? But you know, there's always good and bad guys, man, and they definitely describe the supervillain um sort of build, if you will, pretty accurately. So well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Nick Fail. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel. They're only 8 subs away from 150. And of course, make sure you go follow Nick on Twitter. Nick is literally only 5 followers away from 480, so make sure you go show him some love on the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subroonies. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Let's get it, baby. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Mondays. Up next would be the homie Ghost and TDG, but they are current Music Mondays Patreon, so we've already reacted to them earlier in the show. So make sure you go catch the beginning of episode 250. Make sure you go show Ghost and TDG some love. Let's see here. So, up next is the homie Offspring Mysterious, a talented producer, artist, writer, designer, editor, engineer, all the above, has submitted a YouTube upload. Moving out. I'm down. Let's see what we got here. Offspring has been killing it with their concepts recently, especially with some of their art breakdowns and things like that. So, let's see. That's it. I'm moving out. I've been working a deadbeat job for 3 months and I can't take it anymore. Ever since the terrorists took over, my bills are high and so are groceries. My wife and I decided to get jobs. Jobs are very hard to get. Oh no, this is going to be hilarious. This is going to be funny. See, original concepts by the homie Offspring here, man. All right, let's get into it. Moving out. Let's go. Wonder what we're going to see. The Jack. What the fuck? He's like, what up? Oh, it's an interview. He's like, fuck it, you're hired. What the fuck? Oh hell no. Not the bathroom. Kinda real though. Great content. Clean the crib, make an edit out of it. Literally. Real. Oh, real. Dumpster. Bounce back. About the grind. We've reacted to that track like years ago. It's the Offspring banger right here. He's like, bruh. Sometimes it really feel like that. Fuck. The face down. Bro is dunzo. Big bet, I'm finna make a call.
I've been getting too bad, nigga. I've been buying all my bitches strong. I've been sipping on a fat lady, but I switch the shit out with Patrons. I've been in shit and we ain't down. Sitting again, and you want me home. Talking over you, don't know what I'm on. Take a bitch and I'm making them all. Any money when you hit my phone.
Gold.
She get daily, but she watching your town. 10 to 30 bitch, I'm high as a drum. With the game, but I was on my own. Still have bitches when I'm feeling alone. I take the pen, I put that in the sun. Fuck about the past, bitch, I've been moving on. I ain't beefing with nobody. Bad bitch, she a homebody. That's why I need her on my body. RP go through like 5 bodies. I get down on my feelings, I pop Molly. If they catch you with this, then it's life Friday. Once you part of the gang, it's just anybody. I get too much on my mind lately. Gotta keep it on inside. Cause I cannot trust nobody. What did I say? So nothing. Spending the nights on my chrome shorty. Spending away all the fame. Nothing ever stay the same. Yeah. No, I can repeat the same mistake. Smoking gas bag got me the space. She used me up, she wanted that change. Yeah. Girl, you know it's too late. Yeah. I can't tell I'm making amends. I heard a stack of all these bands.
Wait, that edit was great. No, wait, this is actually gold. He's like, bro, hello. He's like, I don't fucking know. Uh. I don't think bro's sad anymore. Oh, never mind. Never mind. He's like, bro, where are you at? Oh, shit. He's about to quit. Bro just broke the fourth wall. He ended the call. Breaking the fourth wall again. What the fuck? He's like, oh shit, what up? Real? No way. Homie just came out the jam, what the fuck? It's a good spot for this clip too. That's sick, bro. Bro just pulled up, what? What the fuck? Wow. I like that a lot. Well done. Well done. From the music video to the concept of the job, man, that was a W. That was a big fucking W. I love this whole concept, and I think the Shining Star actually is the concept. I like Offspring's ideas lately. Like, lately their ideas have just been right on the money. This one was funny, but also the music video edit at the end was fucking mint. Offspring should really dive into that side more too, like, for like other artists or anything like that, because I feel like they could do really well. So, Shining Star here, definitely the concept. Well done. Well done. Like this one a lot. Huge shout out to the homie Offspring Mysterious. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Offspring Mysterious on YouTube. They're only 7 subs away from 250, so make sure you go show them some love over there on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter. They're only 7 followers away from 820, so make sure you go show them some love on the bird. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 channels per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it 3. Up next would be the homie Laverius, but we've already reacted to Laverius earlier in the show. W submission. Definitely go watch the start of episode 250 if you want to see us react to Fakes by Laverius. And last but certainly not least, the homie 3 coming in with their own submission, Living with Self. Continuing with my Amore Vivi submissions, this is Living with Self, a boom bap groove all about self-love and the difficulty that comes with self-acceptance. Love that concept. Great concept there. Oh shit, we got some lyrics in here too. Oh shit, okay. I'm down. So this will be track, let's see. Done Anubis. Man, we've done quite a few here. We did Mori Vivi. Damn, so this will be what? Track 6. So about halfway through the project. Halfway through. So good placement for this, I bet. But we'll find out. Excellent. I'm down. Let's get into it. 3. Living with Self. Let's go.
I've had a week, y'all. Pick up myself off the concrete. Twisted up lip, I've been on reef. Liquor it help just to calm me. Living with self ain't a small feat. Living with self ain't a small feat. I'm up, I'm Jack, ain't the coffee. I was down for the ride, then you lost me. Living with self ain't a small feat. You in and out, pick a route. Live your word, kick your verse, shut your mouth. Certain sounds so profound. When it's heard, it's just words and I'm down. Got the snow lined up like a fade. Go through the pains to know what it tastes. Oh, what a shame. We soak in the tank just to go in the race. Pick up myself off the concrete. Twisted up lip, I've been on reef. Liquor it help just to calm me. Living with self ain't a small feat. Living with self ain't a small feat. I'm up, I'm Jack, ain't the coffee. I was down for the ride, then you lost me. Living with self ain't a small feat.
Wow. Love the hook.
Through some shit, like some serious shit. You sit back and think, I did this all to myself. Unconscious self-destruction is so fucking appealing until you realize future you who hold the meal you've been stealing. I know I'm over heads already stepping on the ceiling. Long as my lungs are holding breath, I do the reps, realize the realist. That's me, bitch. Pick up myself off the concrete.
Wow.
Twisted up lip, I've been on reef. Liquor it help just to calm me. Living with self ain't a small feat. Living with self ain't a small feat. I'm up, I'm Jack, ain't the coffee. I was down for the ride, then you lost me. Living with self ain't a small feat.
Wow.
Gone are tears I used to shed. Smiling face where once was dread. In the mirror I can see a better version growing free. I can't stop the voice inside. My head keeps humming, gotta ride. The times I lost repeating still until I drift off.
Wow. That was insane. That's definitely one of my favorites off the project. It's probably like top 3 for me. That was insane. Wow. Times Lost is the next one, right? Yep. Okay, that makes sense then. Wow. Definitely one of my favorites off this for sure, no question. Holy shit. Next one is my emo joint. Oh shit, we're about to get some emo shit in here. I'm down. I'm hella down. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're talking about 3 things here. We're talking about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals. We're talking about the overall theme of living with self. Let's talk instrumental. A great instrumental for this, because usually people would like pick like a more like emotional style of instrumental, but 3 actually went with a little bit more like of a jumpy, bouncy instrumental, which I like. I like a lot. But the mix is great. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing, or anything like that. Nothing I would like ultimately switch up. You know, usually with 3's mixes as of recently, they've had a really solid consistency and overall mix in general with like the majority of their submissions. So not really a shocker at this point, but something you always want to point out for anybody new here. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental Shining Star. Man, the structure's really well thought out. I'm not gonna lie. The structure's really well thought out. Although I do like the drums. Let's go structure on this for sure. Thank you, bro. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. That contrast is sauce. It's like, hey, yeah, by Outkast. Yeah, right, exactly. To me, no, for sure. A little something for everybody, you know? Can't wait to get, yeah, no, for sure. the new stuff is gonna be crazy because it's not like this is like super old, right? But the new stuff will be gnarly for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, very consistent, very solid. Quality's good, levels are up there. Nothing like super clashy or anything that I would like ultimately gripe with when it comes down to vocals, right? Um, hmm. So vocal mix solid, definitely, 100%. Vocal shining star though. Hmm. You know, originally I was gonna say writing lyrics, right? But I think the hook is really up there for me. I think the hook just really does the job, and it really explains the song super well. But also, it can get caught in your head a lot, you know. So let's go with the hook on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Like I always say, I love this cover. Especially like the color palette of it all, and it's definitely album worthy for sure. I love the choice. So the cover is fantastic. I've been a big fan of this since Three's first submission. So aesthetics definitely on point for sure. Um, Overall theme, living with self. I feel like Three did a really good job explaining it here though. Um, a boom bap groove all about self love and the difficulty that comes with self acceptance. Yeah, right. I agree. You know, everybody has to be there in life at one point. You know, you have to look in the mirror a little bit. And Three speaks on, you know, sometimes you block your own blessings, right? Like sometimes you block your own blessings because you're looking at yourself in a not honest way, right? And sometimes that will happen, but I think everybody goes through that at least once in their life, and you just gotta like check yourself a little bit, you know. And I feel like Three did a really good job explaining that from their own perspective, right? Because everybody's experience with that is gonna be different, but I think Three did a really good job, kind of nailing this one. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Three. Thank you so much for the submission. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, and of course, make sure you go follow Three on Twitter as well. They're only 2 followers away from 370, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz. It's over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you. You back in the dog. Much love, bro. Keep killing them. Of course. Much love, my friend. Let's fucking get it, baby. Much fucking love. So that concludes Music Mondays episode 250. Let's close it out. Let's show some love. Let's get some shout outs. And let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so, my friends. Let's get into it. First off, I want to shout out to everybody in the chat tonight, man. All you guys are fucking wonderful fucking human beings. Much love. Huge shout out to chat was bumping tonight, man. Let's see here. Huge shout out to the homie J Fur, the homie Three, Ghost, and anybody else that lurked and chilled, or whether you just came through and stopped by for a second, or you just threw the channel up. We appreciate you. Huge shout out to Poncho. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Stream and Family. Huge shout out to Jay. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Stream and Family. Much love. Chat was popping tonight, man. Love that. Huge shout out to everybody that did submit tonight. Huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays patrons. The homie King Mark, Ryuki, Kruger, TDG, Laveries, Ghost, Dry My Eyes, and anybody else that supported the Music Mondays Patreon in the past. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Shout out to everybody that did submit tonight. Huge shout out to Sam's Raps, the homie Three, Flux, Marco Pernice, Jay Fur, Mac 2 times, Maddie, Ghost, the homie TDG, Offspring Mysterious, Laveries, and everybody else that tuned in and showed love. Thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Much love. Like I said, we're gonna be doing some album stuff relatively soon. That'll be a big deal for us. So again, November is looking like album time, and then we're going to end the year off with the Music Mondays Awards for 2025, so that'll be exciting, man. But again, a massive shout out to everybody that tuned in and showed love tonight. Submissions open for next week's show tomorrow, November 4th, so if you're watching this anywhere else, submissions open tomorrow, or they're probably already open, but they open November 4th, 2025. And of course, make sure you stream the Music Mondays podcast on all audio platforms, anchor.fm/allmusicmondays. You can find our complete archive of over 250 episodes over there on all platforms. And of course, make sure you follow Music Mondays on Twitter, at All Music Mondays, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Threads, Tumblr, wherever you're at, we're at. So make sure you go follow. Music Mondays on your preferred social media. Of course, I stream 5 to 6 days a week, so make sure you come through and kick it with the kid. We're doing watch party stuff. I recently started getting back into speedrunning and a lot more fun stuff here on the channel, so make sure you come through and support the kid. You can follow and subscribe to me below. All the good stuff is linked down below, socials and whatnot. And then, of course, we'll be live tomorrow for a regular stream, and then we'll be live next week for episode 250 of the Music Mondays podcast. Benny Boys on Slays, I love you all. Take care. Be safe. Congrats on 250. Let's fucking get another 250, baby. Let's go.